And 5, strengthening the role of the state in guiding and facilitating development. You are the sword. You, particular civil servants, you are the sword. And you know what the Bible says? When the sword loses taste, what happens? Don't you know? You don't know your Bible. You're all keeping quiet. You are the sword. You technical officers, I'm telling you. Hey, if we don't prove your case, then people will throw you out and you will be stepped upon. Hey, to complete the story within the Bible. The government is committed to deliver the NDP 3 in full. We have learned lessons from the implementation of NDP 1 and NDP 2. The first of these is that coordination, listen to this, the first of these is that coordination and oversight were not sufficiently strong in these last 2 plans. Coordination and oversight were not sufficiently strong. That there was always duplication of efforts and wastage across the sectors and institutions. We should say mea culpa. Big sin. Big sin, big sin. We should really apologize to the nation. Much needed data on performance was not always as available or used in our oversight function. But NPA, are you here? Or they will come tomorrow? Or they're also online? Me, I'm still thinking in the old days. As such, there were many instances where money spent did not match the results achieved. Secondly, and relatedly, there was a great deal of silo approach to the implementation of the plan, Kanukang. You know silo, Kanukang. You don't mind what is happening on that side, and yet you are like a basket. You know, government, we are like a basket. One strand goes around, and another one adds on to get the basket. Just to give you a physical to tell you. Government, we are like a basket. There is a strand. You know, have you ever made a basket? You have done all these things, my dear. Have you made a basket? Hey. So that strand goes around, then another one is joined to that, and then you get a basket. Without that one, then we cannot do much. So there were silos, everybody wanting to remain one strand. Although we had sectors, they did not facilitate cross-institutional collaboration adequately. Government ministries and agencies were often more concerned about their mandates, you hear that? And less about ultimate development results. What we want, I've told you, those stands, ultimately their goal is to have a full, nice, well-built basket. Of its own, there is no basket. Don't you know that? Now, do I have to preach you on this? Government ministries and agencies were often more concerned about their mandates and less about ultimate development results and the impact they could have on people's lives. This resulted in 2 less desirable outcomes of the implementation of the plans. This situation has to be brought to an end. This situation. Under the NDP 3, oversight will now be strengthened with the introduction of a new structure, the Apex platform, which will be chaired by His Excellency the President, with the members including the Prime Minister, the Honorable Minister of Finance, Honorable Ministers of State in Office of the Presidency in charge of the NDP 3, and the Chairperson of Board of NPA. This structure shall receive periodic reports on the implementation of NDP 3 and take decisions to resolve any weaknesses or contradictions. Weak performance will be sternly dealt with. I hope you permanent secretaries you can do this, because I want to read this again. That's our own weakness here, by the way, even from the political side. They bring people, okay. You can't run an affair with a successful enterprise. You know me, I'm a private sector man. I'm not a public servant. I've never worked as a civil servant, never. I came in politics for reasons, those of you who have been listening to me. There were reasons. In the private sector, you can't leave things like this. Either you perform or you quit. Simple. Because for us in private sector, we work to make it. And you cannot make it this when you have a fellow, first of all, who is not performing his job. You have a fellow who is wasting resources. You have a fellow who is stealing. You can't. I hope really we could follow the private sector, how they do their things in government. This country would be a great country. Weak performance will be steadily, sternly dealt with. Secondly, now the Prime Minister says, under my office will be strengthened with the creation of a national coordination office on the NDP3. Let me repeat this. Under my office, the Prime Minister says, will be strengthened with the creation of a national coordination office, NDP3. We are also going to reform the GRPR to make it more result-oriented and to align it with the NDP3. We are also reforming the way government will deliver the NDP3. The introduction of the 18 programs replacing sectors was deliberate. First, to communicate clearly the key priority results we want to achieve, and secondly, to enforce cross-constitutional collaboration and synergies when delivering these key results. These reforms are being extended to government institutions. As you may know, we have also recently agreed on a roadmap to reform government agencies with the aim of reducing waste and improving efficiency. I know some of you may feel very jittery on this. You may lose a job or not. I've seen there are so many institutions that we can do away with, called duplication, money, travel, allowances, and we miss out on money for investment. Now let me speak as the Minister for Finance. Today, you have heard I'm looking for $130 million to invest in the East African crude oil pipeline. I will also need more money to co-invest in the refinery. And you know, if that project can start running, well, for the calculations we have, our begging appetite will be dampened. So it's a key. It's a key. It's an opener. It's an opener for your economy, this oil. But I'm searching for $130 million. My director of budget there, she's looking at me. She starts now going to beg from people, to borrow from you people, when actually we could have had that money in the Bank of Uganda. We just call on it, we just go to Parliament. I have the $130 million here, authorize me, and I go. But even now when Parliament authorizes me, that girl has to go to a certain market. A certain market. No, it's not good. These reforms are being extended to government. As you may know, we have also recently agreed on a roadmap to reform government agencies with the aim of reducing waste and improving efficiency. I thought I should repeat this. This is part of our bigger plan to restructure government institutions to eliminate duplication and improve their alignment to NDP 3 results. These reforms will be painful but necessary. We know it is going to be painful. Some people may lose their jobs, but it is necessary to go to spring. And in that case, you will even get a better jobs than so far what you have. These reforms will be painful, but are necessary if we are to meet our ultimate goal of transforming and modernizing our society by 2040. As you know, Uganda, if we had technology, the necessary technology, and the necessary manpower, I see no reason why Ugandans should be poor. We shouldn't be poor at all. Maybe the problem would be a market to sell. That's where I can see the challenge. If we produce many things, as we are now, we are now a surplus country in sugar, in maize. You hear what is happening on the border with Kenya. Milk, chicken. We are now a surplus country. Our challenge now is to find a market. But let us produce them, we shall look for the market. Let's produce them. I wish to call upon all government institutions, including local governments, to understand and support these changes. Every one of you should quickly reorganize and direct all your efforts towards the 18 programs and the NDP3 objectives. I commend those that have done so far already. We have 4 years left to the implementation of the NDP3, and we must use them to the best of our ability to achieve its results within that time frame. I want to welcome once again our partners, development partners, civil society organizations, the private sector, and to appreciate the support they have provided to us in various ways under the NDP2. I take this opportunity to call for more of your support under NDP3, because we still need you there. The NDP3 is a bigger commitment than NDP2, and will require this support. I also request you to support the changes we have made to improve the delivery of our development plan. We look forward to working together on this big agenda. Finally, the Prime Minister says, I wish to turn back to the development plan implementation program. DPI as a program was selected to enable us focus more sharply on ensuring the NDP3 is delivered. The issues of oversight and coordination that I mentioned earlier will be managed under DPI. Therefore, DPI has major responsibilities for delivering the NDP3. I'm therefore glad, Honorable Minister, that your ministry has taken the initiative to lead in this matter. The semi-annual review is a compliance requirement under NDP3. It is intended to allow program implementation institutions to review the progress they are making and agree on corrective steps where necessary. This is good management. I am glad, therefore, that you have selected the path to comply with this requirement, and I expect that the other programs will follow suit. To you, all participants, both here and in the other places, I ask you to be candid and open in your discussions during this review. Don't hide anything. Pour out every feeling you think that should be heard. We shall listen to it. And if it makes sense, then we shall see how to incorporate it. This will help us address the critical issues in implementing these programs and to make them better. I look forward to a good outcome of this process and receiving your semi-annual review reports after, is it a conference or what, PS? After the workshop. Yes. Now the Prime Minister says, now it gives me great pleasure and honor to award those key officials which, as the Minister mentioned, played a key role in delivering the Accountability Sector Strategic Investment Plan, which ended with NDP2. I invite the session chairperson to present these persons. Thank you very much, the Prime Minister says.
Thank you very much, Honorable, in this case, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, represented here by the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. I thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister of Finance, representing the Right Honorable Prime Minister. I think for recognition of the people who participated in the accountability sector, I needed to highlight a team and a group of development partners who greatly assisted or participated together with you, Honorable Minister, now representing the Prime Minister, in delivering the achievements of accountability sector, which is coming to an end over the past years. The development partners for recognition are the following: the European Union, African Development Bank, GIZ, KFW, USAID, Austria, Denmark, Ireland, the Netherlands, Norway, Sweden, DFID, UNCDE, IGC, IMF, Netherlands Tax and Customs Corporation, specific department, ODI, Institute of Fiscal Studies, SAI Norway, SAI Sweden, UNDP, US Treasury Office, and the World Bank. A round of applause for that great support, and I'm aware they're going to continue with us. I now welcome the moderator for the next step of presentation of accolades for those who performed very well in the accountability sector. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. It is now my pleasure to invite the following persons who have played a very critical role in delivering the registered achievements in the accountability sector. May I invite the Commissioner, Stephen Ojiambo. Your dedicated service as Commissioner in charge of the Accountability Sector Secretariat. Godfrey, will you kindly help us to do that? May I request the Honorable Minister of Finance to please. I was hoping that up here would be good. We shall sanitize. We shall sanitize it. Commissioner Stephen Ojiambo has been the closest link between the Secretariat and the Ministry. Commissioner, I must thank you for always standing in the gap and recognizing the role of the Secretariat and looking out for it in the weekly meetings and ensuring that they deliver as was planned. We thank you and we recognize you. Thank you very much. I now invite Ms. Ruth Namirembe Olijo. You're being awarded for your dedicated service as the chairperson of the Accountability Sector, Audit and Anti-Corruption Technical Working Group. Under the Accountability Sector, there were 4 key working groups, and this is one of them. Madam Namirembe, we must thank you so much for your dedicated service in that area, whose key objectives were to enhance prevention, detection, and elimination of corruption, increase public demand for accountability, improve collaboration and networking amongst development institutions. We must thank you so much for playing that role very diligently. Also, would like to recognize Mr. Godfrey Semugoma for your dedicated service as the chairperson of the Accountability Sector Budget Execution and Accountability Technical Working Group. Thank you very much, Mr. Semugoma, for your dedicated service on that, on delivering that thematic area of budget execution and accountability, whose key objective was to enhance public contract management and performance and improve compliance with accountability rules.